When it comes to driving growth for your SaaS business, the biggest thing is your go-to-market strategy. We talk about this all the time in this channel. We talk about this. This is something we obsess over inside of my coaching program when I work with founders. Here's the thing though. Sometimes it can get way too complicated just way too overwhelming. And that's very normal. And so in this episode, I wanted to go back to basics. I wanted to go back to the 3 core principles that every founder, every SaaS CEO, every SaaS leadership team, every SaaS marketer needs to know to drive growth for a SaaS business. So I'm gonna walk you through these core principles. We're gonna go back to basics. And sometimes I found in my career that when you go back to basics, you're able to actually move faster. So that's what we hope to do. We hope to unlock growth for your SaaS business. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, we help SaaS founders like you grow your SaaS businesses faster with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you are new to this channel, welcome. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon because I drop an episode every week on Sunday with actionable strategies on how to grow your SaaS business with the TK energy. Now, if you're already part of this community, if you're part of my coaching programs, first of all, my people, welcome back. Second of all, you might have noticed something. You might have noticed I just said we drop a video every week. So we're making some changes. We just hit 15,000 subscribers. And I think of our channel as a bit of like a little big niche. 15,000 is not a huge number, but it's a huge number, given that we're focused purely on B2B SaaS founders and leaders and marketers. And salespeople too. So it's a little big niche, and as we've hit this new inflection point, a couple of things have happened. One, we just have more people watching videos, and we have more videos than ever before. So that's there. Second, I have more people inside of my coaching programs. We have over 100 founders now. And so I had to kind of go in and look at the data with my team and really understand, like, cool, how do we spend our time? What do we double down on? What do we pull back on? What's the most effective use of our time? And something crazy has happened over the last few months. We found that the more in-depth videos that I do and the more I just like really share my stories from the trenches, the more you guys like it. The more you watch more, you like more, you share more, all those metrics. The more of those videos that we do, it means that the less of like the really detail-oriented videos we need to do, because those are really where the coaching program thrives. And so the more we've done like the really story level videos, the more we've done well with more people joining the coaching programs, and the more people that have joined the coaching programs, the more success people have seen. And so there's this thing of like, cool, like, well, how do we spend our time? One of the big changes that we're gonna be testing out is we're just gonna do 1 episode a week now in the YouTube channel. And I'm gonna reclaim all that time. Believe it or not, like just to do a 10-minute video, it takes like a half day. Because I research it, I script it, I build out the cards. It just doesn't happen like that. Like there's a lot that goes into it, and then my team has to work on it. And so we're gonna reclaim all the time from that second episode. We're gonna do 1 really meaningful episode every week, and then I'm gonna reclaim that time, and I'm just gonna put it more towards the people that are inside of my programs, the founders and the leaders that are inside of my coaching programs, to make that program the best in the business, whether it's serving them and helping them cut through their issues or revamping the training inside. And what I think that'll do is, 1, it'll give our broader YouTube community what it really wants, which is deeper stories with TK, storytime with TK. And 2, the people that are like, cool, like I know you know your stuff, TK, so I wanna work with you. And when they're coming into the programs, they get the best program in the business. So this is something we'll be testing. And so if you've been with me for a while, like that's the big change I'm making. I know this is a little drawn out, but I had to talk to you about it. So that's what we're gonna be doing. On today's episode though, we're gonna be digging into the 3 core principles that are kind of back to basics. And back to basics is something that has been just a powerful principle for me my entire life. I don't know about you, but there have been moments when just things weren't working, right? We've all been there. We've all been there. Every single successful startup founder at some point had a moment where we're like, this is just not working. And one of the ways we used to call it is WFIO, we're blank, it's over. And there have been multiple moments where it was WFIO, and WFIO is like a common thing in startup land. But whenever we had those moments where we literally nothing was working, we had nothing to lose, and we were like, oh my God, what do we do? And we did this like one last Hail Mary. it was always about us going back to basics. And I found this pattern happen over and over in startups, in life, in business, where when things get too complicated, we put too much weight on ourselves. We just get overwhelmed, nothing works. And when we actually force ourselves to say, screw it, whatever, like it's over anyway, like let's just go back to basics, the most magical things happened. In fact, when I look at some of the biggest breakthroughs in my career, when I look at some of the biggest successes or the things that we did that unlocked the thing that led to successes, whether it's around features or product or our sales and marketing, our go-to-market, or even fundraising, it was the back to basics that really helped us break through. And that's why I wanted to do this episode, because I think that a lot of times going back to basics can help you. This is something that I've seen inside of my coaching programs too. Like, these founders join, like we follow a PLG model, product-led growth model, meaning you can watch 200 free episodes on YouTube for free, and then you join one of our coaching programs. By that time, you know what I'm about, what I'm capable of, what I've done, how I think. So by the time a founder joins, they're like, cool, let's go. And like they're going into the deeper levels of it. And even within the coaching programs, there are some times where I'm like, dude, let's just take a step back. Because I feel like you took like 3 left turns at some point and 2 of those were the wrong left turns. So let's go back to basics. And we always go back to basics, and then we kind of grow to the more advanced things from there, and they're able to scale a lot faster. So I've seen this everywhere. And so what I wanted to do in this episode is, if you're a founder, if you're a leader, and you're like, growth is not quite working, or it's not quite satisfactory, or you're like, we could be going faster, I want you to entertain going back to basics. And I want you to look through these 3 principles to go back to basics in terms of your go-to-market. And I want you to consider that if you maybe just reserve judgment and realize that you're naked already and you have nothing to lose, and if you were to go back to basics, maybe you would have something to win. And that's something that's been true for me all the time. And so maybe it'll be true for you. So if you're excited to dig into principle number 1 and going back to basics, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when it does that. I also really like it, and my team loves it. So smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and for us. And let's go to principle number 1. So when it comes to your go-to-market and going back to basics, principle number 1 is who. Who are you serving? Again, there are so many abstractions we create and so many complexities we create around your ideal customer profile and macro trends and personas, so much. But I wonder if for just a second, if you were to just take a step back, it's like, hey, who do you want to be serving? Who are the people that you're serving? Who are your happiest customers? What do they look like? Who are they? That's a back to basics type of thing. This is something like, believe it or not, I changed the trajectory of ToutApp by asking this simple question and going back to basics at one point, because we were serving all kinds of business email users. And we asked, like, let's just go back to basics because our growth is there, but it's not taking off. We're spread too thin. There's too many things going on. So we went back to like, cool, who are we serving? And we found that it was salespeople where we made the most money. We loved working with them. They complained the least. They referred the product. And that really honed in on like, cool, this is who we're serving and here's why. And that's super powerful. So principle number 1 in your back to basics strategy is, who are we serving, right? Who are you serving and who are these people? And why are you serving them? Principle number 2 in going back to basics, and again, you might chuckle, you might shake your head, but guess what? This works. I even do this with founders inside of my coaching programs to just ground them, and then we can get into more of the detailed stuff because it just works, right? Like a lot of times we're just in our own heads. So the second thing is, what are we doing for them? Principle number 2 is, what are you doing for them? And again, it's very easy to go into the depths of what is our value prop? What's our strategic narrative? What's our manifesto? Like all those things, and those can come at the right time, but can you at least like just look at me and then like, what are you doing? Who are the people you're serving, and what are you doing for them? What are you really doing for them? And a lot of times, when I'm talking to founders about this, if it takes more than a few words for them to explain like what it is, they're like, well, we are this, but with this, and then what we do for them, I'm like, yo, dude. And they're like, yeah, you're right, this sucks. And that's one of the powers of like having someone else that's like really talking to you as like a thought partner. It's like, what are we really doing for them? And that's something that's super powerful. Tout app, we used to be like, oh, we're email templates and we're tracking and we're analytics. And it took us longer than it should have. We're like, we help them make more pipeline. They want more pipeline. That's all they care about. But that took us a while to really answer, what are we doing for them and who are they? So the question I would ask you is, what are you doing for them? What's the software doing for them? Like, give it to me in simple terms as possible in this back to basics. And it's up to you. Like, believe me, I've created multi-million-dollar businesses. I've helped turn around multi-million-dollar businesses. I coach I've been there. And this principle works. The back to basics principle is something that truly works if you let it. If you are willing to suspend judgment for a second and just really be like, cool, we have nothing to lose. Let's just figure it out, right? Like it's really powerful. Now, I have a third principle. Before I go to that, let me just pause here for a second. If you're starting to see the power in this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? Also, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that. So do we, and so does my team. It just means the world to us. Also, if you are figuring out your go-to-market strategy and you want to work with me, I'm a lot of fun to work with, then you should check out my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. Just go to tkkader.com/GTM. I'll link to it below also, but I'll tell you more about it at the end of this video. Let's go to principle number 3. Principle number 3, once you've figured out, number 1, what is the who? Who are you serving? Number 2, what are you doing for them? Number 3 of the back to basics is, where are we gonna say it to them? Where are we going to actually reach them? Where are we going to talk to them and get their attention? Where? That's number 3, believe it or not. Now, when it comes to go-to-market, there are so many channels. You could do TikTok dances. Maybe that works for a B2B SaaS company. Like, I don't know, I never judge. LinkedIn is great. Outbound is great. Ads are great. SEO is great. Content is great. Capterra is great. G2 Crowd is great. Like, oh my God, there's so many, right? But the question is, which one are you gonna pick? Where are you gonna double down? And where are you gonna go reach this group of people and tell them what you do for them? This is what really brings this together, right? Like this third thing. And it's a fundamental question. And a lot of times what ends up happening is founders and early stage teams are scatterbrained. They're like, well, we're doing a little bit of this and a little bit of this and that. And I'm like, which one are you great at? They're like, none of them. We suck at all of them. It's like, great. That sounds like a great strategy. And it's like, okay, let's figure out which one we can be great at. And let's double down on that. And a lot of times founders aren't purposeful about what channels they're gonna be using. So this is why in the back to basics principle, I'll ask number 3, which is, where are you going to actually reach them and talk to them and tell them like, hey, here's what we do for you. These 3 things, if you can actually nail these in a plain, simple English way, and plain, simple English is important because that means you've gotten to clarity, then you got something. If you can't do this and you're still mucking around with all the more advanced things, chances are you don't stand a chance at the advanced things because you can't explain the basics. And recently I started working with a trainer to get into, like, I lost 40 pounds just on my own. I did weighted jump ropes. I had meal prep. I worked out 3 times a week, and I dropped 40. Like, just go watch a really old video of me and compare it to now. Like, you'll see the difference. And it's gone through ebbs and flows, but I did it mostly on my own. And then finally got to a point where I'm like, I really need to, I want to take it to the next level. So I want to hire a trainer. So I hired a trainer. And one of the things that was humbling was, he was like, cool, we're going to do these exercises. And I'm like, these are dumb. Like, you don't understand. I can squat. I can lift. He's like, I know, but you kind of did that in a hacky way. You don't have the core muscle. So we're going to go back to basics. It was so humbling to listen to him and trust him. And his name is John, and he's like this jack dude. He's much older than me. And so, you look at him and you're like, I want to be him when I'm his age. It's inspirational. And never trust a skinny trainer. He's jacked. And so I'm like, you know what, John, I believe you and I trust you and you've clearly demonstrated success. So cool, let's go do this. And we started working together, and we've been building out core muscle groups and these core exercises. And we're about 4 or 5 weeks in, and I've had incredible gains. And one of the things that I realized, I told him, John, I've been fat, I've been skinny, but I've never been fit. until I started working with you. And he laughed. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. This is massive for me. He's like, well, I'm glad you trusted in the process of going back to the basics and really getting your core muscles going, because that's what builds the foundation. And it made me realize, truly, I mean it. Like, I've been fat, and like, that's easy to tell. I've also been skinny, where I thought, I lost a bunch of weight from like weighted jump ropes and doing 5x5 exercises, but I didn't build up my muscles in the right way where I had the right foundation. And now I feel like I'm fit. Like I actually have core foundational muscles, and you walk differently and you show up differently. And I realize this, it's the same principle of going back to basics. A lot of times, maybe you look skinny, but you're not fit, or you're fat and you're stuck there. And I can say this because I used to be fat. I'm fat, I get it. But you're stuck there and you can't quite break through. And a lot of times you have to suspend judgment. You have to let go of the ego. You have to just say cool, let's just go back to basics and really figure these pieces out. And let's get the right people involved. That's what I did with John. And that made a big difference. So my message to you, just to recap, principle number one is who are you serving? Answer that. Number two, what are you doing for them? And number three, where are you reaching them to tell them what you're gonna do for them? Those are three core back to basics that can help you kickstart your go-to-market strategy. Now, if you are in that stage where you wanna work with me to actually build out your go-to-market strategy and really flesh this out, then check out my SaaS go-to-market coaching program. Just go to tkkader.com/GTM for all the details. If you got value from this video, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It'll just mean the world to me and my team. If you are new here and you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit subscribe. I drop a video now every Sunday to help you grow your SaaS business faster with real stories, actionable strategies, stories from the trenches, and just like you and I are hanging out. And so I hope you hit subscribe and hit that bell icon. That way you'll get notified. If you're part of a group of other founders, other SaaS leaders, and they would get value from this video, if you've got that founder friend that's been stuck for a while and they need to go back to basics, share this video with them. I know it'll mean the world to them. So just please share it with them. It may actually change the trajectory of their company, just for them to think about okay, maybe it's okay to go back to basics and really think about, because I'm naked anyway. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is gonna be unstoppable. I'm TK. Thank you for watching. Truly an honor to serve you here. So thankful for the 15,000 subscribers that we have now. And I will see you in the next episode.